My wife and I had been married for 24 years. She was my reason for being in this house, in this city, in this state. She was not that anymore. I am Raphael Evers Rafe to my wife and my friends. I am 45, and my wife is Carrie, 42. We met in high school and were married 6 weeks after she graduated from high school. We had dated for 2 years before we were married and came to understand that we were good together. We have 2 children. Gary is 20 and Sarah is 18. Both are away at college. I suppose that Carrie was feeling a loss of her children or was experiencing empty nest problems. Like all marriages, we have had our problems. Some were small and caused arguments. One was a huge one, and it caused us to be separated for almost a year. I was a junior in college when we married. I had full-ride academic scholarships and a monthly stipend from a trust my grandfather left me. I was doing so well financially that I was saving money every month. I was going to graduate in less than a year. I would have a degree in financial planning and a minor in English. Because of my trust fund, my lawyer demanded a prenup that protected the trust. Carrie signed, almost without reading it. I graduated and found a great paying job at a local office of a national brokerage house. I knew and told the manager that I was only there short term. I planned to work toward a certification as a certified financial planner and then open my own office. Carrie told me she would work and go to night school until the kids came along, then night school, and be a full-time mom until they were all, if any, in school. That 5 years lasted until Sarah was 3, then things changed. Sarah was in preschool, and Carrie seemed lost at home alone. She told me she wanted to back to work, at least part-time. I told her it was her decision. She found a job at a local insurance office. Her boss was a man about 10 years older than me. He also rubbed me the wrong way. I really didn't have a reason to feel bad about him, but I did. I told Carrie what my feelings were, and she just blew me off. "You have nothing to worry about. I'm married to you, and nothing will come between us." We had been married for 7 years when things at home got testy. Sarah had started kindergarten. I was getting blamed for a little problem that came along. Every time I was late getting home from work, I was cheating and she wasn't going to stand for it. I finally decided to move to the guest room. The complaints didn't stop. Then I discovered that Carrie was cheating. She was having an affair at work. I moved out and got an apartment near my office. I had Carrie served with divorce papers. After we had been apart for almost a year, I was still ready to end our marriage. We are only still married then, because when Carrie got the divorce papers, she fought and delayed the process until she insisted that we talk. Carrie insisted that the affair was over, and she would never cheat again. She pleaded with me to forgive her. I still loved her, so I forgave her, but warned her that I would never forget the hurt, nor would I accept it happening again. We got back together, but I had my lawyer create a postnup that would give me custody of the children and her nothing if she cheated again. It had no time limit. She squawked but signed. Her ex-boss suffered a few hardships and a divorce while we were separated. He left town within 6 weeks of my discovery of the affair. He was still in the casts from one of his hardships. I was questioned about that, but I was at the courthouse suing him when he somehow fell downstairs at a local motel while in the company of a woman, not his wife. His wife took him for all that my lawyer didn't get. He decided to leave town. Carrie was ever attentive after that. We had all of the usual problems. The kids got sick, and the kids got hurt. The appliances quit working. The cars broke down. The house needed repairs. We managed to survive all of those problems. When Sarah was in school full-time, Carrie wanted to work full-time. We didn't need the money. My grandfather's trust was mine now, and I had qualified and passed my certification testing. I was now a certified financial planner. I opened my own office as I had planned. Because there was an opening, I asked if she wanted to work for me in the office. She jumped at the chance. We went along for several years, and my practice prospered, and I hired 4 associates. Carrie became the office manager and a partner in the business. I stepped back and only worked for clients that insisted I handle their accounts. We had a smooth-running and successful business. I was not using all of my time at the office, so I started writing again. I had 3 unfinished novels that I started in college. I didn't know if I had any talent, but I had the bug. I finished the 3 in 6 months and started another. I sent them to a literary agency that worked with many publishers. After several rejections, a publisher took the book and made a deal to publish it. They paid me a medium-sized advance because I insisted on all copyrights, paperback, and movie rights. The publisher also optioned 3 more books. I had 2 more finished and nearly finished a third. The publisher just waited until the first book's sales came through. They eventually purchased all 4. The publisher decided to stop publishing that type of book, so they did not accept any more of my books. The agency found me another publisher. As I was not really doing much in the office, I promoted one of my associates to a junior partnership. Another change was that after almost 8 years of working for me, Carrie sold me her partnership, quit, and went to work for a local nonprofit. She claimed she was not satisfied with her work for me. I promoted our office secretary to my assistant and hired a new secretary. Carrie seemed very happy, and there did not seem to be any problems with our marriage. The nonprofit was doing well, and Carrie was promoted after a year. Her replacement was a young man fresh out of college. This was our life until shortly after Sarah left to go to college. Then things were different and very argumentative in the house. I did not understand the reasons, so I asked her, "Carrie, is there something bothering you? You seem to be ignoring me. When you do talk to me, it is to pick a fight." She looked at me and started to get an angry look. I held up my hand to stop her. "You have been a royal, annoying woman since Sarah left. I won't put up with it much longer." She shuddered, turned, and went down the hall to the bedroom. I went into the safe, took out the old divorce papers, and put them on the kitchen table. I then left and went to a hotel. My phone started ringing almost as soon as I got into my room. I looked and saw it was Carrie, so I let it go to voicemail. After a few minutes, she called again. That, too, went to voicemail. I went down to dinner, leaving my phone in the hotel room. When I got back, I picked it up and saw 12 calls from Carrie. I shut the phone off. I called Carrie in the morning, without listening to any of the voicemails. She was not answering. I assumed she was at her work. I went back to the house to get more clothes. I packed enough for a couple of weeks. While I was pulling a couple of suits out of the closet, I saw a phone on the floor of the closet. It was not Carrie's phone from our cell plan. I was curious, naturally, and suspicious, so I turned it on and saw that it was a track phone. I didn't think anything good was on this phone. I opened the contact list, and the first and only name was the name of John Standish, the man that took her position when she was promoted. I decided to finish the farce of our marriage. I called Carrie's cell phone with the found phone. "Hello?" Carrie answered tentatively. "Who is this?" "It is your soon-to-be ex-husband. I came to the house to get some clothes. This phone was on the floor of the closet. The old divorce papers will be updated. This time there will be no separation, and there will be no fighting the divorce. Last time you promised to be faithful and never to cheat again. My next call from this phone will be to Mr. Standish. You better not warn him, or I will destroy the company and both of you. Do you understand?" "Yes, I understand. And I know it doesn't mean anything. But the affair was over last week," she answered. "You're right. It means nothing. There never should have been an affair. Is John married?" I questioned. "Yes," she replied weakly. "Well, the 2 of you have destroyed 2 marriages. I am naming him as a co-respondent and the cause of the divorce as adultery. Goodbye, Carrie. This hurt can't be fixed." Then I ended the call. I hit the contact number for Mr. Standish. He picked up on the first ring. "Hi, darling. Are we still on for the Sheraton and room service for lunch today?" he questioned. "No," I answered. "This is your darling's husband, and if I find you, you had better leave in a hurry. You will get some interesting legal papers soon. Enjoy the rest of your day." If I knew what those 2 calls would cause, I would have laughed my back off. Carrie and John had a knockdown, drag-out screaming, blood match right in the office not 5 minutes after I called. John was arrested and charged with assault, and both were fired. Carrie did not contest the divorce, but she demanded a 75-25 split of assets in her favor. I countered with 100 my favor and said to her lawyer that I was leaving town, and Carrie would be responsible for the mortgage and my business, and explaining to my publisher why they should send my royalty checks to her address. She signed. We split 80-20 in favor of me. John did not get away with his pocketbook intact. His wife took all of their money and left town while he was in jail, serving 90 days for the punch he gave Carrie. He had to file for divorce based on abandonment. He moved to a different city and was never heard from again. We had to sell the business, the house, and cash in all of our CDs to make the split. I took my share of the money and left town. I moved to Space City, Florida. I would rather put up with hurricanes and afternoon rains than have Carrie around as a constant reminder of the lost marriage. I continued writing. My stories took on a darker tone for a couple of years, but went back to what the publisher wanted after that. I had a small laugh as the dark novels won awards and sold better, but the publisher wanted softer, smoother, and tamer, so that is what they got. Carrie decided to go back to the office I started. This time, she was only a secretary, but she quit after a little more than 6 months because she was being propositioned by almost every male in the office. Her life was not going well, it seemed. The kids took my side and broke off contact with their mother. She couldn't find another job and burned through the divorce settlement in less than a year. She had to file for personal bankruptcy. When that was all finished, she called me. "Rafe, I know I don't deserve it, and that I destroyed a lot of people's happiness, but can you loan me enough money to start over? I'm at wit's end, and am going to be kicked out of my apartment at the end of the month. Please help me." I thought about it and said, "Give me a couple of days to really think about it. Right now, my answer would be no. I am going to talk to the kids, and I will get back to you." I decided to see how serious she was about a loan. I called her after a couple of days. I also wanted to rub her nose in the dirt a little, not a lot. "Carrie, if you are serious about my loaning you some money, I will call my lawyer and have him draw up a contract. Will this be a personal, unsecured loan, or do you have some collateral to back the loan up? Also, how much were you asking for?" She screamed, "Collateral? Jerk, we were married for over 20 years. Don't you think you could just loan me the money because of that?" "Yes, we were married, and you didn't keep your vows or your legs together for more than 15 of them now, did you? Do you want the loan or not? I will not just give you the money." My cell phone screen said, "Call ended." That was the last I heard from her for more than 6 months. She called and told me her father had died. She felt I should know as I liked him, and he seemed to like me. I got the viewing times and the time of the funeral. I booked a flight. The funeral was a very sad affair. Carrie was devastated, and as her mother had died a few years earlier, she had to handle it all herself. When the estate was settled, Carrie got a little money in the family house. According to Sarah, her mother blew through the money and had to sell the house to pay some of her bills. About a year after the funeral, Carrie called and said that she accepted my terms for a loan. She told me she wanted to borrow $50,000. I countered with the statement that I would loan her a maximum of $5,000. She screeched, she screamed, she yelled, but she signed. In the papers, it was stipulated that Sarah would be overseeing the disbursing of the monies on an as-needed basis. Carrie tried everything she could to get all of the money at one time, but Sarah was firm. When the money was gone, I started to legally go after Carrie for the loan monies and the required interest. She found a local sucker to pay me, and I assume she offered him favors for the money. After the divorce, she had gone through men as fast as she went through her money. Her lifestyle caught up with her. She was found to have an STI, cirrhosis of the liver, and kidney disease. The last I heard from Sarah, she was refusing treatment, saying, "It is what I deserve for my life choices." I haven't been updated in a couple of months, but I have found Nelda. She is a rescue standard poodle who thinks I am the greatest thing since canned dog food. Life goes on. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.